Okay, so I've shared my screen. Just let me know once you're able to see the screen, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Screen is alright.
okay, perfect. So yesterday we were discussing the sixth chapter, that is standard form, but वो सही तरह clear नहीं हुआ था, so let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about the new topic, right? So in these questions, you guys would be either asked to convert standard form to scientific notation. By scientific notation, they mean these types of numbers, the ones which we have been using, decimal numbers and whole numbers and stuff like that. And the second type could be that they give you the scientific notation and they ask you to convert it to the standard form. Okay. Let's focus on the first type first. Let's focus on type number one first. Okay. Now let's say you have been given the standard form 4.6 into 10 to the power 3. The answer would be 4300. Why? Because this time you have positive power. Whenever you have positive power, this number gets bigger. Okay. And how much bigger? Your decimal will move to the right side. And how many units? 3 units. So for this, forget about left and right. Don't remember that. Just remember, if you have positive power, your number will become large, and if you have negative power, your number will become small. Now I want you, Amir, to tell me, is 0.0046 greater than or less than 4.6? Is this less than 4.6?
No, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
So we know that which number is smaller and which number is larger, right? Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the concept? Forget about what I told you yesterday. You were not able to understand it that way. Just remember, whenever you have standard form, obviously you'll be having this type of a thing where maybe you have 5.4 into 10 raised power 2. This time the number is positive. The power is positive particularly. So your number will become bigger. How do numbers get bigger? By moving the decimal to this side, right? To the right side. So this would become 540. Similarly, if you had 5.4 into 10 to the power minus 2, you have negative power, your number will become smaller. How will it become smaller? Your decimal will move towards the left side.
Left.
0.054. Okay, this is what you'll get. Okay, so I don't want you to remember right or left stuff like that. Just remember the basic concept. Just know when you have positive power, number would become larger. When you have negative power, number would become small. Okay, this is the only thing which you need to understand. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, and now and now you can think about it similarly, that in this part we have 3780, right? And this is not the standard form. In order to convert it to standard form, what do we need? This is the decimal. We need to move this decimal from here to here, right? After the first digit, that is 3. So since we have to move decimal to the left, the power is positive, right? And in the second example, this is the decimal, but we don't want it here. We want it after 3 over here. So we are moving the decimal 3 units to right. So that is why we will get a negative power. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
And you can also think of it this way again, that this number is like this number is smaller than 3.780. So you will have a negative power, right? And this number is bigger than 3.780. So you will have a positive power. Whatever way you learn, obviously that is your choice. But this is the concept, right? Are you clear with this now?
Yes.
Are you sure, Saneem? Have you understood this?
Yes, I've understood.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about some more examples which are related to this topic, where we'll be adding to standard forms, and let's see how do we do that. Okay. And in maths, you can do a question by different ways, right? We can have multiple methods of solving a question. Obviously, as long as your answer is correct, that method should also be correct, right? And if your answer is correct, obviously you're following the correct method. So that is equally good, right? For example, if we are trying to add no, let's write it this way. Adding to standard forms. Okay. Now let's say we have two numbers, 4.2 into 10 to the power 4 plus 7.3 into 10 to the power 4. Okay. And now we are interested in adding these two numbers. These two numbers are particularly in standard forms. Okay. So we know how to add things, but this time we have standard form. So any idea how can we do this?
First, ma'am, we'll multiply these numbers with the powers they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like first,
Okay.
we'll multiply 4.2 into 10 to the
So
power
what
4
would it
and
become?
7.3.
4.2 into 10 to the power 4. What would be the number? What would be the scientific notation?
42 lakh.
For
5 zeros.
no, we
Like
have this number.
1,
We
2,
have 4 here.
4 lakh 20,000.
Tell me how many zeros you want me to put.
4.
Okay, why 4? We have decimal here. So we will
No,
move
3. 3 number.
3 zeros, right? So this
4,
is
4 to
42,000.
3.
This is 42,000, okay? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. And what about this number? 7.3 into 10 to the raise 10 to the power 4.
73,000.
Very good. Okay, excellent. So this would be 73,000. And now we have to add these two numbers. We need to add 73,000 and 42,000. Okay, and what do we get once we add them? Yes. No, okay. This becomes
11
40.
lakh. 11 lakh 5,000.
Okay. This actually is 11 lakh 15,000, but don't talk about this in lakhs and thousands. Okay, just tell me it's 115,000 because we need to discuss that concept. Okay, about lakhs and thousands, right? Just be clear with this. Okay, Amir. Okay, so this was one way of doing this question, that we first convert these standard forms to scientific notations and then we add them. Okay, now this is the answer. And again, you have to convert the answer to the standard form. So what do we get? Decimal is here right now. We need to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units to the left. So this would become 1.15000 multiplied by 10 to the power positive 5. Now this is the answer. Saneem, are you clear with this?
Yes, it's there.
Okay, right. So let's say, okay, now in this question, we had same powers, right? What if we had the same question but with different powers? 4.2 into 10 to the power 4 plus 7.3 into 10 to the power 5. Okay. Now you tell me, Saneem, how should I do this question?
Uh, in the same way or like some.
Okay, so we can multiply it, like we can convert these standard forms to scientific notations. What do we get for this one?
Yes, this will be 42,000.
Very good. Plus, and what do we get for this one?
7 3 with 4 zeros.
Very good. 7 3 with 4 zeros. Why? Because we have positive power. We know that this would become big number. So we need to move this decimal 5 units to the right. Okay, now we have to add these two numbers.
7,72,000.
Okay, so this would become this, right?
Yes.
Okay, and now is it in the standard form? No, it is not in the standard form. So we have to move this decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the left side. This means we will get 7.72000 multiplied by 10 to the power. Yes, Amir? Negative 5 or positive 5?
5. Positive 5.
Excellent. Very well done. Okay, why? Because this is a small number, this is a big number. Okay, use the same concept. So power should be positive, right? Any confusion?
No, ma'am.
Okay, right. So let's talk about some more examples. All right, now we have minus 1.29 multiplied by 10 to the power 2 plus 0.92 into 10 to the power 3. Okay, now in this question, again, we are adding, okay, we are adding, but we see that the signs are different, but we'll talk about signs later on. First step is same for every question. We need to add these two. We can't add them directly. We need to first convert these two numbers to the scientific notation just so things are easy for us. And how do we do that? By simply moving this decimal to 1 and 2 units to the right side. Why?
129.
Because we know that 2 is a positive power. Positive power will make this number a bigger number, right? So 1.29 becomes
Yeah.
129 plus, now we have this number.
920.
In order to, very good, in order to convert this to the scientific notation, again positive power. So we will move this decimal 3 units to the right. That will be 920. Okay, now tell me, what do we do? Should we add these two or what?
Yes, ma'am. Plus minus. Minus. You
Minus
would
what?
subtract it.
Yes, we will subtract it, okay, without any doubt, because this should be clear by now. Signs are different. Forget about this add. They are saying add, but signs are different. Whenever we have different signs, we cannot add two numbers, okay? So certainly we
Yes.
will be subtracting these two numbers. And what are we going to get?
791.
791 plus 791 or minus 791?
Plus.
Plus
Plus, as
790.
the bigger value has plus.
Yes, very good. Okay, and now 791 is not the standard form. Right now we have decimal here. We need to move it 1 and 2 units to the left. So we will get 7.91 multiplied by 10 to the power 2.
2.
Okay, very good, excellent. So is everyone clear? Turhan, have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Right. Now let's do the last example from this topic, and then we'll talk about the multiplication of these numbers. Let's say we have 72.9 multiplied by 10 minus 8.2 multiplied by 10 square. Okay, now we have this and we need to find the answer. Okay, so again, first thing is first, we need to convert these two standard forms to scientific notation. Okay, now we have 10 to the power 1. Okay, if it is 1, it obviously means we have 10 to the power 1. We have positive power, so this number would become bigger. This would become 729 minus, again positive power, this 8.2 will become bigger, so this would become 820. Now we need to find the difference. What is the difference? The difference would be of 91 plus 91 or minus 91.
Negative 91. Minus.
Very good. Okay. And now this is not in the standard form. So minus 9.1 is in the standard form. Multiplied by 10 to the
10
power
to
what?
10 to the power 1.
1. Very good. Okay. This is the answer. So I assume that this is understood. Okay. By now we are clear with this. Okay. Let's talk about the multiplication now. But before talking about multiplication, let's discuss a small concept which we'll be using in multiplication. Okay. Now, again, we're talking about multiplication. And first, let's just discuss something. Okay, now what if I ask you to multiply 0.5 into 3? Can you tell me the answer quickly without using your calculator?
Okay.
Sorry?
1.5.
Yes, 1.5. Okay. Why? Because whenever we have a decimal number, don't get scared, okay? Multiplication of decimal numbers is equally easy. How? You have 0.5, think about it as 5 multiplied by 3. The answer is 15. And how many decimal places we have? We have one decimal place, okay? So decimal comes here. Okay, this is the first example. What if we had 0.2 multiplied by again 0.2? This time the answer would be 0.04. Why? Because first thing is first, think of it as 2 into 2. The answer is 4. How many decimal places we have? 1, 2. So 0.04. Okay, let's talk about another example. What if we had 0.03 multiplied by 0.2? This time the answer would be 3 into 2, 6. How many decimal places?
3.
2. Yes, 2 and 3. Very good. So 0.006. Okay. So are we clear with decimal multiplication?
Yes.
Turhan and Saneem, are you clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So decimal multiplication is equally easy. We need to multiply two numbers, and we just have to talk about the decimal places. We have to think that way, and we are good. Okay, so we know this concept. Very good, excellent. Okay, now we have to discuss another thing, and then we are good to go for multiplication of two standard forms. This time we have to talk about a mathematical concept. Okay, let's say we have two numbers. We have 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 1. Okay, so can anyone tell me the answer directly?
10 to the power 5.
Excellent. Very well done. Why? Because when bases are same, two numbers are being multiplied, we add up the powers. So let's say if I had 10 to the power minus 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 2. What do I get in this case? Again, let's take, yes, very good. Let's take things stepwise, okay? Bases are same. So I can write the base ones. We have multiplication sign. So powers would be added. What are the powers? Minus 3 plus 2.
And minus
We, we know that minus 3 plus 2 signs are different. We will
is
subtract.
to 1.
So yes, minus 1, okay? Right. And what if I had 10 square divided by 10 cube? In this case, what do I get?
10 to the power 6.
Why? This is division.
One.
Minus 1. Okay, very good. Okay, so look, Amir, in multiplication, we add the powers. In division, everything is same. Bases are same. We write down the base. Since it is division, we subtract the powers. Okay, so this would become 2 minus 3. That is 10 to the minus 1. Similarly, if we talk about another example of division, we are going to get 10 to the power 4 divided by 10 to the power 2. This would be 10 because
10 to the
bases are
power 2.
same. Very good. 4 minus 2, that is 10 square. So we are clear with multiplication of same bases with different powers, division of same bases with different powers, and multiplying two decimal numbers, right? Any questions about this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about the multiplication of two standard forms. If this is easy, that is equally easy, right? So let's just drop it quickly and let's just discuss multiplication of two. Okay, so we have, for example, 7.1 multiplied by 10 square multiplied by 8.1 into 10 cube. Okay, what if this is the question? How do we do it? Okay, very first thing is that this time we are not adding our standard forms, we are not subtracting our standard forms, we are multiplying them. What do? We multiply this number and this number into this number, we get 7.1 multiplied by 8.1, and again the multiplication sign is going to come, and this time we are going to multiply these two numbers. So we have 10 square multiplied by 10 cube. Okay, so we are done with the first step. Now in the second step, we have to multiply 7.1 into 8.1. Okay, so either you can do it this way, that you multiply 71 and 81. Obviously they are not going to give you such big calculations in P1. You can use your calculator, and this time 7.1 into 8.1 is 57.51. Okay, multiplied by. Now let's talk about this. What do we have?
10
Same
to the
basis.
power 5.
Yes, same basis. They are being multiplied. So base will come once, powers will be added. So this will give me 57.51 into 10 to the power 5. But we are not done yet. We need to do an extra step. And what is that step? Is our answer in standard form?
No.
No.
Okay, so we need to move this decimal 1 unit to the left. So what do we get forget about this 10 to the 5. Let's talk about this, okay? We're talking about this only. So we will get 5.751 multiplied by 10 to the power 1.
10 to the power 1.
Okay, and we had this 10 to the power 5, so we will write it down as it is. And now let's simplify it. This will give us
10 to
finally,
the 6.
yes, very good, 5.751 multiplied by, again, bases are same, they are being multiplied, powers would be added. So 1 plus 5 and 5.751 into 10 to the power 6. So is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. All
Ma'am,
right.
पेपर 1 में आता है पेपर 2?
It depends. It totally depends. पेपर 1 में आ सकता है MCQs में छोटे numbers के साथ, और पेपर 2 में किसी कैलकुलेशन में आ सकता है. तो ऐसे नहीं होता कि सारे कंटेंट सेम होते हैं, ठीक है, for paper 1 and paper 2. Okay. Acha, let's rub this and just do the last example, and then we'll talk about the next chapter. Okay. Now, in the last example, we have 82.97 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 1 multiplied by 29.4 into 10 to the power minus 3. Now again, we have to multiply these two numbers first. So we get 82.97 multiplied by 29.4, and we need to multiply these two separately. So 10 to the power minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 3. Let's multiply these two. So what do we get when we multiply this? You can use your calculators.
2439.318.
Okay, so you are getting 2439.318. Okay, so we are done with this. For this, what do we get? Again, our
Into
bases
10
are
to the
same.
power minus 4.
Very good. 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, excellent. And is it in the standard form? Is this number in the standard form?
No.
No, it is not. Okay, so we have to move this decimal 1, 2, 3 units to the left. What do we get? 2.439318 multiplied by, we are moving 3 units to left, so we get a positive power, that would be 10 to the power 3. Okay,
Yes.
and this is going to come as it is, multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4. And we are almost done. We'll write this down, and again bases are same.
Into 10 to the power minus 1.
Very good. This is the answer. Any questions, Turhan, Saneem, Amir?
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
Okay, okay, all right, perfect. So let's talk about the new chapter, that is 4 operations. Okay, let's just write down the heading. So we have chapter number 7, that is 4 operations. Okay, now obviously we're talking about math, so we'll stick to the mathematical operations. So far you guys have been playing with 4 mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? Okay, so since you guys have been playing with this, so let me ask you a question. What if I ask you, tell me the answer of 4 plus 2 multiplied by 3. Okay, I want you to tell me the answer.
18.
Okay, so Amir is getting 18. Okay, this is Amir's
Yes.
answer. Okay, what about others?
I got 10.
Okay. Um, Saneem got 10. Okay, and what about you, Turhan?
I guess, ma'am, we have to follow the mass rule here.
Yes, very good. Okay, Turhan, did you try this? Okay, so let's talk about this. Now, why did this happen that Amir got 18 and Saneem got 10 and I am getting 24? Why are we getting three different answers? Because these four operations are to be followed using a rule, okay? And that rule can be named in different ways, but as Amir said, the mass rule, but we are going to talk about this way. BOD mass. Okay. Amir, you were talking about this only, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about an upgraded version of it. Okay. So in this part, we will discuss what exactly BODMAS means. This means brackets, order, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay. Now we have an upgraded version because obviously we have brackets as well, and we'll talk about this. Okay. Now, what does BODMAS means? Brackets, order, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Okay. Let's talk about these further by examples. For example, if we talk about brackets, we can have 2 plus 3 in brackets. If we talk about order, we can have 2 to the power 2, 2 to the order 2, right? Because power of 2 is 2. If we talk about division, we can have 2 divided by 3. If we talk about multiplication, we have 2 into 3. If we talk about addition, it could be that we have 2 plus 3. And if we talk about subtraction, we have 2 minus 3. Okay, so we have been dealing with all this, but we never thought about it that whenever we get all this together, how would we deal with it at that time, right? So let's talk about this. Now, in any question, if you have different operations, obviously you need to operate it according to this order. So we'll start off with solving the brackets. Then after brackets, we'll talk about the order if we have something of this type 2 to the power 2. Then we'll divide if we have division. Then we'll multiply if we have multiplication. Then we'll add and then we will subtract. For example, let's say we have 4 plus 9 multiplied by 4 minus 7. Okay, now this is a mathematical question in which you have different numbers with different operations. One operation is plus, the second one is multiplication, and then we have subtraction. Which operation are we going to solve first?
Multiplication.
Why? Because multiplication is coming before addition and subtraction. Before addition and subtraction, we have multiplication. So we write down everything as it is. 4 plus 9 into 4 is 36 minus 7. We did not do anything with 4, anything with minus 7. We have just multiplied these two numbers and got 36. And now, what do? Should we add 4 and 36 or subtract it? Add it. Why? Because we have add first and
Add.
then we have subtract. So 4 plus 36 would be 40 minus 7, that will give us 33. Okay. So this is how our answers change when we multiply things differently. You don't have to add 4 and 9 first and then multiply the answer with 4 and then subtract with 7. No. Okay. This won't be correct. Right. Okay. So if we talk about another example, let's say we have 0.5 multiplied by 2 plus 3 square minus 9. Okay. Now again, we have to follow our rule. So far, you guys have been playing with DMAS rule, but now we have BODMAS. Now in this question, we will use BODMAS because we have order. Where is order? This is the order thing, okay? Something to the power something, right? 3 to the power 2 is the order example. Okay, now what do we do first?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Anything to the power, anything which is powered by a number, so it is called order.
Yes, this number is particularly order, okay? This is order.
Having
Okay, very good. Right, now we
so
have to,
first will
yes,
3 to the power 2. First we'll do 3 to the
yes,
power 2, then
yes. Why 3 to the power 2? Because the very first thing in the question which we have is order, right? We don't have brackets, so we have to talk about order. So we'll solve that. So we will write down everything as it is. 3 to the 2 is 9 minus 9. Now what do? We need to multiply, add or subtract. We need to multiply. So
multiply.
0.5 into 2 would be 0.5 can be written as 5 by 10 multiplied by 2. So what do we get?
2 divided by
This is
2,
1 time, this is 2 time, and this would be 1
1.
plus 9 minus 9. So finally we are getting 1 plus 9 minus 9. Again, first we have to add and then subtract. So when we add 1 plus 9, we get 10 minus 9, that is 1. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Turan,
ma'am.
are you clear with this? Turan, have you understood this question?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the last example of today. That is 0.5 square minus 8 by 10 plus 2 divided by 5. Okay, that's it. Okay, this is the question. And again, you have been asked to solve this question. You will not start off your working directly. The very first thing is we will refer to our helping word, that is
BODMAS.
BODMAS. Very good. Okay. Right. So do we have brackets? Yes, we do.
Yes.
We have brackets. Where? In this part?
8 divided by 10.
Yeah, in 0.5 square. Okay. We have here and here we have two brackets. So we'll solve both of these in the first part. So what is 0.5? 0.5 is 5 by 10 to the power square minus 8 by 10. 8 by 10 would be 4 by 5.
0 point.
Okay.
Yes.
All
मैम
right.
5 by 10 को हम 2 भी तो लिख सकते हैं.
नहीं 5 by 10 को हम 2 नहीं लिख सकते. 5 by 10 is 1 by 2. Okay.
1 by 2.
हाँ,
Oh,
obviously we can. I am trying to do everything stepwise. Now that is why I'm not writing it directly. Okay.
excuse me.
Again, yes.
तो अगर ब्रैकेट्स के साथ पावर भी आ जाती है तो वो ऑर्डर होगा या ब्रैकेट?
वो order होगा, but first we are solving bracket. Okay, first we're solving bracket. अभी हमने 5 by 10 को solve करना, we'll get 1 by 2. So finally we got 1 by 2 square. Okay, now it is square. Minus 4 by 5 plus 2 divided by 5 equals. Okay, now again, we don't have any brackets, although we do have brackets, but everything has been simplified in the brackets. Okay, so we have to move further. We have order. Do we have order in this question? Yes, we do. So we need to find this. Okay, now if we have 2 outside bracket, it means 1 square by 2 square. Everything is going to be written as it is, 2 divided by 5. Again, we have to simplify the order. That would be 1 by 2 square
1
is
divided
4.
by 4.
Yes. Minus 4 by 5 divided by plus 2 divided by 5. Okay. Now what is the next step? Now do we have division? Yes, we do. So we need to divide first. So 1 by 4
0.
minus 4 by 5 plus, let's write it in fractions, because everything is in fractions, right? And this is 2 divided by 5. Okay. Sorry. Okay, and now we have to subtract or add.
Add.
Okay, so for this, obviously, either you can convert all these to decimals. What will we get for 1 by 4? 0.25. Yes. And for 4 by 5? 0.8 plus 2 by 5?
0.4.
0.4. Okay. Now when we add these two, we are going to get 1.2, and we have to subtract these two. So what do we get finally?
minus 0.95.
Very good. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, so again, in this question, the only different thing was we had 2 brackets. That is okay. We have brackets first. We'll solve both the brackets first. In this part, although we have bracket, but everything has been simplified in the bracket. It's only written because of this 2. Just so we know that this 2 is for 1 and 2 both. Okay, it's for numerator and denominator both. Okay, then we have to look if we have any order thing. Yes, we did. We had this 2, and then after that division. So once we were clear with everything, we were only left with addition and subtraction. So first we added these two, and then we subtracted these two, and we got this as an answer. So any questions, anything that you have not understood?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Saneem and Turhan, are you clear? Right, so I'll stop sharing the screen. Okay, so I'll end the recording, okay?